Whoa, people, good morning. Wow, this is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Today is Wednesday, September the 30th, the last day of September. We will be welcoming in October in less than 24 hours. But this is, good morning, Marion. This is, good morning, Oscar. I'm going to just label this the Wednesday after the debate. The Wednesday after the debate. Good morning, everyone. I see all of you coming in. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, how y'all doing? Yeah. Marion, a blessed morning and a morning where we wake up tired. Good morning. I see all of your names in here. Forgive me if I don't call them out individually, but good morning to all of you. All right, I guess we should get started. What about that? I'll pack in as much as I can in the time that I have. And maybe we can continue the conversation tomorrow as well. Oscar says, what a morning after. Let me tell you about it. I was, just to give y'all just a little bit of context as why it's like I'm in my hoodie. I'm like half awake, half asleep. After that, whatever you want to call it, after that happened last night, yeah, that's right. We survived we survived the debate. After all that, I went looking for the transcript. Many people were coming back out saying that they really could not formulate a transcript because of all of the talking over one another. I kept digging. I was doing my, putting together my own notes to get out of it what I could get out of it. Then early this morning, a transcript did come up that was more that we could piece together. So let's just get started. Let's get started. All right, y'all. And I see Deborah Johnson coming on. Y'all know Deborah Johnson. She's my friend. She's a close friend. She was trying to get me to come on here last night, and I'm looking at her with her little comment like, no, I can't do it. I'm fried. My brain is fried. There's no way I could even make sense out of any of this. But she was trying to push for all of us to come on here last night, like a special News in Motion. All right, y'all. So let's start with the easy stuff. The coronavirus numbers. Not that the coronavirus is easy, but let me give you this information first. The U.S. numbers. Y'all remember I go to the World Health Organization. We are at 7,406,729 confirmed cases. Deaths, we are at 210,797 deaths. And recovered, we are at 4,649,521 that have recovered. Wall Street Journal reports that New York City daily infection rate hits an all-time high, the first in months. So you're looking at about a 25% increase in several counties. So they're very concerned. Sports Illustrated, if you followed this at all yesterday in the midst of all of the preparation for the debate, COVID-19 has, there's just an outbreak throughout the NFL with 9 people in the Titans organization. Fires are still raging in California, so we also want to continue to pray for everyone that's in California. All right, now that I got that out the way, let's get to the debate. There was 96 minutes of something. There were 96 minutes of something. The first question that I have for all of you, and again, if you can be interactive, that's great. I'll try to catch as many comments as they are coming through, and we're going to try to do this in less than 30 minutes. I know that some of y'all went, what? We're used to 15, 20. We're going to see how far we go, and then we're going to just carry it on until tomorrow. The first question that I have is, did this debate move anyone who is undecided? And I would say absolutely not. I don't know how many people stayed on beyond 15, 20 minutes. The first 15 minutes were like, are you kidding me? I do want to say this about Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace is pretty good at this. Last evening he lost all control. But I want to say something, and I thought about this. I'm trying to find it. I highlighted it. Nicole Wallace of MSNBC, because I was flipping through all the different stations. Nicole Wallace said something that I thought really, really struck like bingo. That's it. That's the target. She said that Donald Trump came out as the abuser. And these were the words she used. She said Donald Trump came out as the abuser. And she said, and Chris Wallace was one of the ones who was abused. Because it was absolutely ridiculous. So I thought when Chris Wallace shared that, when Nicole Wallace, and I don't believe there's any relation between the two, when yes, Kenya, I'm proud of you. You stayed up the entire time. When Nicole Wallace called Donald Trump the abuser, she said, I felt as if I was watching an abuser abuse people. And she said, and unfortunately, Chris Wallace was one who was abused. So I do want to say that about Chris Wallace. He's normally very good at this, but he lost all control yesterday evening. All right, y'all. There were six topics. Chris Wallace was set up to do the Trump and Biden records. Yeah, Jackie, I think it triggered a lot of people. And not only I believe it triggered a lot of people, I believe that if we look through it with honest eyes, through our lens, we would see a dictator. And this first 4 years was just him setting up the ground. If he gets in for 4 more years, what you witnessed last night is what we're going to see continuously. So I'm going to come back to that in a moment. It's set up for the Trump-Biden record, the Supreme Court, COVID-19, the economy, race and violence in our cities, and the integrity of the election. All right, let me get these out the way now so that we can have all of that piece out of there. From Biden, and everybody was concerned because I even made a post, will he be able to control his temper or will he take it to the playground? And I got to give Biden some credit, some kudos. He kept it together. I believe also, and this is my opinion, I believe also that Trump came to unrattle him and to get Joe Biden to begin to stutter. That happened just a little bit, but not much. But Joe Biden, because he has that edge, he came out, and I looked at all the different transcripts and the ones that we could piece together. He came out and called him, whether you agree or disagree of these words, he came out and called him a fool, a liar, a clown, a racist, Putin's puppet, worst president ever, and he told him to shut up. That's Biden. On the other side, you have Donald J. Trump, and yes, I'm using his name today. He had tons of falsehoods, personal attacks. CNN called it the avalanche of lying. He mocked Biden for wearing a mask with over 200,000 dead in the U.S. And it seemed as if his goal was to out-talk both the moderator and Joe Biden. He didn't come to be presidential. He came to attack. Also, we need to say up front, he was unable. We all know that's going to be the script. Lincoln Project is already putting together. A commercial. Kim Kill says, "Sorry, girl, I think Biden stumbled quite a bit." Not to the and yeah, my opinion is not to the point that I thought he was going to just keep stuttering and never get a word in. I think he really held it together to some degree. That's my opinion. But thank you for sharing that, Kim. And other people on here may feel the same thing as you. He was unable, this is going to be a soundbite, Lincoln Project is already putting this together. He was unable to call out white supremacists. Chris Wallace said, "Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups to say that they need to stand down?" Trump's response was, Proud Boys. He asked a few questions lingering. He goes, Proud Boys. He said, stand back and stand by. Now, since that time, within, they said about 40 minutes, and there's the logo out there. Proud Boys made a logo with that saying. Proud Boys is already preparing to go to different polling places. That's what's happening. So to some degree last night, he incited something. Hold on, I'm going to continue to go. Trump's, to some degree, helped Biden become that moderate that people were looking for, not a liberal. Because when they were talking about the Green New Deal, that came out, and Biden said he did not back the Green New Deal the way Trump was describing it. So Trump kept saying, wow, the left, you just lost your left, you just lost your left. And I don't think that happened, but he also gained what I believe are some moderates because of that comment. Trump did not follow the agreed upon debate rules. The two sides, the two campaigns, that was the most memorable moment. Thank you. That was pretty powerful. They agreed to a 2-minute conversation without any interruption. That did not happen. So there's a lot of questions out there. Should Joe Biden debate him these next two debates? I don't know. One thing I thought, and I want to hear from you, give me your thing exactly, attack defense mode. They have a website for their army to monitor the polls. Yeah, they do. They do have a website. Thank you, Adrian, for saying that. And if y'all Google that, not that you really want that in your cookies on your computer, but if you Google that, you'll see that there. Now, what I thought was brilliant was even when Donald Trump was attacking Joe and talking over him, Joe would turn to the camera and talk to the people. I thought that was brilliant. So Joe got his points out to some degree. He turned to the camera and he was talking to the people, and I thought that was brilliant. Okay, Trump says he's counting on the Supreme Court to examine the results of the presidential election. So he made that very clear even at the end. It just went back and forth, y'all. These are just my points, what I pulled out. I don't think it's very easy to stumble when someone's constantly, I think it's very easy when someone's constantly interrupting you. Trump's not condemning white supremacy, is it? Yes, it is. Let me, okay, I'm going to come off the notes for a moment and just talk to y'all. What I was watching last night, I was thinking about suburban moms. I am one. I mean, my children are grown, but I wouldn't want that type of leader for my children. So did he lose suburban moms? Possibly. What about health care? He kept saying that the Affordable Care Act is nothing. This is Trump. But now remember, y'all, on November the 10th, 1 week after the election, the Supreme Court will decide what they're going to do with the Affordable Care Act. So health care is on the ballot. So last night when we were thinking about health care, what did you hear from that? And that's what I want us to really get to. What did you hear from that? If you ask me, we didn't hear much of anything. Even the Supreme Court, what did you hear from that? Chris Wallace opened up with the Supreme Court, but from there, what did you hear? After the first 30 seconds, it went south. Let me go to that transcript for a second as well. The transcript is, he didn't answer the question. And he even tried to throw in that his pick was probably more leaning towards liberals, which is incorrect. That's false. They talked about the different approaches to COVID-19. Now, Biden made some points. Trump came out talking about the swine flu, and Biden came back, 14,000 died. He was honest in that number, 14,000 died. Under your watch, 200,000 plus have died because you're still not even dealing with it. The president isn't trying to win the election. He's trying to stay out of prison. That's a good take on it. And here's what, I want to back up just a little bit. This is where we are, people. We have to vote in landslide. You heard how he even ended, where he says he believes this is going to go to the Supreme Court. He believes this is going to happen. He goes, you're not going to find out the election for many, many months later. We need to show up. For many of us, we have until October the 5th to register to vote if we're not registered to vote. There's some states, I think it's October the 13th, you have until October 13th. Many people are already starting to vote, so their registration, register to vote is over. There's some states you can register when you show up. You have to go to your Secretary of State's office to find out what your deadline is to register to vote. You can find that out by going to iwillvote.com, www.iwillvote.com. With that being said, we have a responsibility, all of us. I don't care what side you vote on. We have a responsibility to exercise our civic duty and make sure we vote. Even after that ramble last night, we have some decisions to make. Who do you want in office? Last night I sat there, I said, did it reach anybody who's undecided? Absolutely not. I saw more people say, they turned off the television. They walked away. They couldn't take it more than 15 minutes. They couldn't take it more than 20 minutes. I did it because I wanted to come back and report out. What I can really report out, besides going through all of the transcripts and the notes that I was able to see and receive in the media releases I have. I mean, if I showed you this, I just have tons of media releases and things that are going through everything that was coming through, and everyone is saying the same thing. Could you fill in this piece? Could you fill in that piece? It was that chaotic. So on Supreme Court, what did you see? What did you see? What was there? When you talk about COVID-19, we know, because we're seeing it play out with COVID-19, there's still no real plan to COVID-19. When you're talking about, and I'm going back to the list of the questions Chris Wallace was supposed to ask, when you talk about the economy, what did you hear about the economy? And this is one thing I could not understand. I think I even put it on my wall last night, is that Donald Trump did not close down the economy. He did not close the states. The governors did. So he kept saying, I closed it down. No, you didn't. And I wonder why nobody called him on it. And that's a debate. That's something that Joe Biden should have called him on. He never did that. Race and violence in our cities. I love the fact that Chris Wallace and Joe Biden pulled out, but the Republican states have an uptick in violence. And as soon as they went there, he was done with that. He kept wanting Joe Biden to talk about law and order. And then when the tables were turned, Trump then went somewhere else. So he kept deflecting. So that's a sign, y'all. Those were the questions we were asking earlier this week. That's a sign as to what's going on. Many people are talking about taking their ballots to the drop box. I'm going early, and again, if you are going to stand in line anywhere, go with someone else. Please don't go alone. Go with someone else. But there's I want to hear from you too. I'm gonna keep going through my notes, but I want to keep hearing from you. So the election, we're in trouble. We're really in trouble. And my question is, how many Republicans are going to come out and have a conversation with the President of the United States, the current occupant of the Oval? Can there be more debates, with presidential debates? We have the vice president debate next week. People are saying they're taking their ballots directly to the Board of Elections. Where are we? How do we rally together and say, okay, enough? Y'all, this is our voice. This is our voice. I see more of you coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is our voice. And you're right, Kim Kills. That's on my notes too. The Portland sheriff does not support Donald Trump. The Portland sheriff put out a tweet last evening saying that he has never supported the President of the United States, and he never made that reference, and he never came out and said anything like that. These are things that we have to do. Share your voting today. Good. And you're in Michigan. You're Detroit, right? Remind me of that. I believe it's Detroit. But y'all, we have to take a stand. So I can go over all of this, but we all know what it was like. It was a mess. This was a mess. Um, um, or I can sit here and beg of you to put a plan together to vote. Y'all, we need to flood social media. You bailed last night. We need to flood social media, encouraging our followers, people of influence, to vote. Again, iwillvote.com, rockthevote.org, whenweallvote.org, vote.gov, vote.org. There are so many resources out there. Ballotpedia.org. Can you remind me of which one that is? And then ballotready.org. We need to really mobilize to vote. We need to come together. We need to come together in our individual cities, come together within our churches, come together within our community, still social distancing, wearing your mask and washing your hands. But we need to come together. We were already putting out on our social media information, but now you have to now talk to your base. You have to talk to your base. You have to suggest to your base, not tell. You have to suggest to your base, y'all, we have to do something. Do you want to live like this? Or do we want to see a change? And who's the best person to bring us together? It's going to take a team of people. Biden and Harris, because that's my choice, Biden and Harris cannot do it alone. They're going to need all of us. But y'all, it's now time for us to communicate and to share the truth. Kim Carter says, please also volunteer to work the polls, drive folks to the polls, etc. Y'all, that is just as important. The last time I checked, the poll workers, they are still needing tens of thousands of poll workers all throughout the U.S. We need to do that as well. If you own a car company, let some of your employees drive people to the polls. If you are Uber or Lyft, give them free rides to the polls. If you are public transportation, give them free rides to the polls. There was nothing that came out of Donald J. Trump's mouth that gave me any sense that he had a plan for anything. Y'all can go back and rewatch it. It's on YouTube now. Joe Biden was trying to give us some information. Joe Biden, I believe, has some plans. Joe Biden didn't really give out the economy information that I think he was trying to give out. I also feel really bad for him and his family with how Trump attacked his son. And this was the other thing that came up to me yesterday. He went after Hunter Biden, making $3 million. But let's talk about your children. But I love that Joe Biden said, we're not going to bring our families in this. We're not going to bring our families into this. And Trump was trying to say he wasn't experienced. He's not experienced in that area. We weren't going to bring that up in this. That's what Joe Biden continued to say. The other thing, for those of you who are Black and brown Americans, I believe that's a lot of us that are watching this. That was unnerving for me last night, that he was trying to be the savior of Black America. I didn't get that at all. And then about the federal taxes. I want to talk about the federal taxes. He claims that he's paid millions. He claims that he paid millions into taxes. But the reports say something different. Yeah. So, yeah, we got work to do. We have some serious work to do. Yeah. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So let's talk just for a few moments. And yeah, y'all got my mimosa too. I got mine. This was not supposed to go this way this morning. But this is where we are. I thought we were going to have a good conversation, answer all the questions, go through all the questions I laid before you yesterday, but we can't even get there. That's the truth. We can't even get there. Trump never answered the question about paying federal taxes. No, everything was he was deflecting. He was deflecting. Yeah, I see the sad faces. I'm sad for our country as well, y'all. I'm pretty sad. Yeah, then with this vaccine, Oh, I love the fact that Joe was able to talk about the CDC director and to wear a mask. after Trump tried to mock Joe Biden for wearing a mask. Yeah, we got work to do. So this is what I want to do, if you're all okay with that. I'm going to put up the link to this transcript that I was able to get that made some sense. I'll put it on the thread so that you can look at it. You can, and it does, a lot of it doesn't make sense, so you can look at it that way. He planned that. I believe he did. He planned to come in there that way. That was his strategy. His strategy was to come in and to talk over both the moderator and Joe Biden. I think it triggered a lot of people. I think a lot of people have been stressed by it. I tossed and turned last night thinking, this is the America that I live. This is the America that I live. And then when for me, I think he purposely sent that message out to Proud Boys. I believe he did. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. I believe he did. That's my opinion. When he told them to stand back and stand by. He did not condemn white supremacy at all. He did not do that. Someone needs to have rules if they're going to go forward with the second and third debate. There were rules for this one, but someone needs to shut down the microphones. Someone needs to do something. Maybe it needs, I saw on a few comments, maybe it need to be a Zoom where they can mute him on Zoom and let Joe talk, mute Joe on Zoom and let Trump talk. Something has to change. And we have to have some answers. But I think for me, the answers were there last night. The answers were there. This is where we are. This is where we are. So let's talk about ballots. Let's talk about those of us who are getting ready to vote, whether you're voting early or you're voting by mail. Let's talk about ballots. Secure your ballot, and you can only vote once. Secure your ballot. Yeah, they made a logo. Yeah, Sherry, they made a logo. They made a logo within seconds after him saying that. T-shirts, signs, everything else. They were making those things last night. Secure your vote. Decide what you're going to do. If you're going to the polls, go with somebody else. We should go in teams. In Ohio, in Franklin County, there are souls to the polls on November the 1st for Franklin County in Columbus area. There could be souls to the polls in other places, but we have to plan that. But what I need all of us to do, what I'm begging all of us to do right now is to check everyone. I've been talking about the Outvote app. Download the Outvote app. Once you download the Outvote app, upload all of your contacts. Upload all of your contacts. When you upload all of your contacts into the Outvote app, you will see who in your contacts are not registered to vote, or those who have registered to vote, they have not voted in a long time, or they spot vote. Contact those people. You can send a text message, and you can send a text message where no one knows that it's you sending a text message. Yeah, there's apps like that. So do that, and then take the next week, and because now you know, say to your friend, have you registered to vote? If they say yeah, you can give them the side eye, like, you have? Are you sure? Well, I'm looking at this app right here, and it says you don't, if you want to be that bold. But download the Outvote app and upload all of your contacts. See who is 18 and over, if they're registered to vote or not. If not, those are the people we need to touch base with. Y'all, this is serious. This is serious. We need to flood our representatives with letters, with emails, and with calls. We need to share our heart. As a constituent, we have every right to do that. As a constituent, we have every right to do that. On this line right here, and I won't call you out. Don't worry, I won't call you out. On this line right here, there is a consulate of the United States of America on this thread right here. Met this person, I think it was in 2016. If we have to have questions for anybody, I can try my best to not to overload her mailbox, but ask questions as to other things we can do. But yeah, y'all, there's someone watching this right here that thank God I have a relationship with that I can go and ask questions to. So if there's a question I cannot answer, I will go to her and ask that question. But this is where we are, y'all. And I don't know how else to express this. This is where we are. This is where we are. So my question to all of you is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's so important that we do something. So every day I give an inspirational message and I give the win. The win is for everyone who even tuned in for even 5 minutes. A double win is for everyone who made it 30 minutes. A triple win is for all of us who made it to the end. We get the win because we have to live through this. We have to deal with the stress, the triggers, the emotions that come behind this. And I'm asking you to take care, to have some self-care. So my inspirational message is, and someone asked a question the other day on the wall. I won't give her name either because I don't know if she wants everyone to know this. But she says, what do we do when we know what we're up against, when we know what we're facing? How do we handle our stress? How do we handle our concerns? How do we handle it when people will say, I'm just not going to vote? Because there are many people who were on Twitter last night saying they were not going to vote after watching what they just watched. We still need to get them to vote. We still need to get them to vote. It is so important. I actually called my daughter last night. I said, you flying home and you're going to cast your ballot and then you can fly back to Atlanta. We will check out Southwest Airlines today. That's how we got to handle this. But self-care. Y'all, I cannot beg of you to take care of yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to. It is so important that we take care of ourselves. Last night, if I slept an hour, I did good. But I was kept going through what I had, the media releases and the things that I have, looking at what can we do? And the only answer is not only to pray. I think prayer is a piece of it. I think that's the most important piece. But in addition to prayer, we got to take action. We have to take action. So if you will allow me to do this, tomorrow is going to be like a little webinar. I'm going to lay out how to mobilize people. I will try to I didn't sleep either, Mike Nicholson. I didn't sleep either. I couldn't. If I got an hour, I got an hour. But if you allow me to, I'm going to lay out how we're going to mobilize. I have a webinar that I do for that, but I'm going to do it right here. It's that important to me that everyone has that. So I'm going to lay that out. I'm going to also post memes in the thread that you can grab and use for your social media. Y'all, we're in here together. I feel like, did we really do news and motion today? I don't know. Because I don't even know how to recap what just happened here. Yeah, fact checking. And I'll put that link in there too. Fact check. Oh, who was it? I believe it was the New York Times had a good fact check that finally came out about 3 or 4 this morning. I'll post that in there too. But if y'all don't mind, that's what I'll do tomorrow. If you don't want to go through how we mobilize people, just don't join us tomorrow. The wildest thing is that a lot of Black people are comfortable with this and shrugged it off like, oh, well. That's concerning, Mike. I totally agree with you. That's concerning. That's concerning. So if I failed today giving you the news, I'm sorry. I had nothing else to give you but what I gave you. But we do need to mobilize. We do need to act quickly. I am committed to this cause to the end. So I'll put a few links in here, and then tomorrow I'll give you a full mobilized plan of how we can mobilize people in these last 34 days, is it now? 34, 35 days. So I'm not even going on the IG today because I have nothing to tell them. So if you're on there, just tell people to check it out on the YouTube if I even upload it. Thank you. But I keep encouraging everyone. So we need everyone to vote, not to give up our lives, our work, the fight. Our lives are on the line here, y'all. They're on the line. So I'm Gail Dudley with your news in motion. And until tomorrow at 7:25, try to work through this today. If you're able to, Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Angie. Thank you. If you're able to and you're not driving, get your mimosa. Get your mimosa. Some of you just have orange juice. Some of you have champagne in it. And I heard some of you put some heavy stuff in yours this morning. I just have a regular one. But we're going to make it a great day. We're going to check on somebody. Check on somebody. I can tell you from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook that there are some people who are struggling. They were triggered last night in many ways, from bullies and from abuse. You need a donut. Well, you can do that, Mike, because you got hip hop, so you can go do that. But people were so check on someone today. There were women who were saying they felt like as if their ex-spouse, their ex-husband was abusing them. There were younger people saying that they feel like they were abused from people in their homes. There were people who were saying that they grew up in the foster care system. And did you see Westerville response? No, I did not. In the foster care system, and they feel there were people triggered. So check on people today. Check on people today, y'all. That was a mess. I want to know what Westerville said too before I sign off. Everybody needs a donut. There needs to be free coffee and donut today. Okay, now everybody just going everywhere. I want to know what happened in Westerville before we sign off. Everybody wants to know. There's 30-something people watching. We all want to know what's happening with Westerville. It was bad. They said Trump won. Oh, that's what Westerville said? All right, y'all. It's been fun this morning. I didn't mean to go this long. Y'all pray for me. Okay, I'm going to pray for you all. Pray for me. Let's pray for each other. Let's pray for each other. All right, y'all. I'm signing off. Send some love to each other today. I'm Gail Dudley. Peace out.